In these latest episodes of Next Moto Adventure, join Paul and I as we test ride the new Aprilia Tuareg, featuring Aussie road racing legend and two-time Ironman TT champion Cameron Donald.
I'll be leading the ride, so it's a controlled ride to give you guys a full sample experience of the bike and an environment where you can get a much better feel for the bike.
After a quick debrief, we then mount up for a quick taste test of the Tuaregs on the tar through the winding roads of Mount Glorious, Queensland.
Yeah, how light is it though?
We are then treated to an ABS and traction control display by Cam, showcasing the bike's capabilities. Oh, you legend. Yeah, that's a lovely. And a stoppie for free. From there it's a quick squirt in the dirt on some unsealed road known as a goat track to test the bike's off-road abilities.
Oh, is he not back yet? So he must have come off. Yeah.
We're still missing one rider in the suite and things aren't looking good.
One in every group.
What do you do?
It's ridden off the edge, not hurt, not crashed, but he got the bike stuck. But I'll see, if it was too low, I'd say we'll go down and with a group of us, we'd carry it up on our shoulders.
All this and more coming up next at the Aprilia Tuareg demo program, Mount Glorious, Queensland. So picking up from where we left off, we're now treated to an ABS and traction control display by Cam Donald.
Head over in the shade, because we'll be here for 5-10 minutes just to do the traction demo. We might as well stand in the shade as in the sun.
Gee, they're talky little bikes, aren't they?
Yeah, they like the rev too.
Yeah, very nice.
So first impressions?
Yeah.
They're very planted. Considering that's a big block knobby tyre.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely a bit smoother on the road with the more road orientated tyre. Yeah. But they work very well. Most impressed too is the longevity of that tyre. At the end of the day, 80 horsepower, it's plenty. But we're not, like the Tiger. I see some familiar faces from the Tiger test launch. They've got 150 horsepower.
Yeah.
So a block tyre on the back, you can make pretty short work of it.
Yeah.
Did mention too, incredibly fuel efficient. That 18 litre tank, getting between 300 and 400 k's of cruising. That's amazing. Yeah. So big range for your adventure riding.
Yeah.
Does it have a fuel gauge? I see it's got fuel on there.
You can scroll through. Yeah, it's a little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the little biscuits on the side of show fuel. They could be quite low, some of them.
Yeah, right.
So,
Good on you.
And then we want to show you how light they are when we push them home.
Yeah. Push them up the hill.
They're fairly light.
Also got a Tiger test ride. Yeah, so we've got a few. So we're going to do the same thing here. We just want to show people who currently has a bike with ABS. Okay, so most people are used to it. Off-road ABS. So these new systems are very refined and they work very well off-road. So you often say, people generally would say, when you're off-road, turn the electronic stuff off, but this is developed specifically to work off-road. That's when we're talking about the off-road setting. It disengages off-road to the rear, which a lot of hardcore ABS, a lot of hardcore off-road riders want, so they can do the skid turns and whatnot. Personally, when you're riding roads like this or forest roads where it's open, I would rather leave it in an Explorer and still have ABS on the rear. Because if you need to do an emergency stop, you come around a corner, trees down, someone's on your side of the road, you can grab the front brake, stamp on the back and still steer the bike. Where you lock the rear, it can come around on you. But if you want to try, when we go onto this section, I would say leave it in Explore. And maybe if you want to try the different, flick the ATC down a bit and see how it'll light up quite quickly. But maybe leave it in Explore. But if you've got off-road experience and you want to skid the back, then put it in off-road.
Just remember that people are behind you.
So we'll give ourselves plenty of space here, so it will be dusty. It is one way. Those of you that haven't ridden this road, there's not much room for error. It's a big drop off on the left, so we want to keep it on the road. So what I'll do is first, exactly what I did with the Tiger, I'm just going to do an ABS demo. So I'm going to leave it in Explore, but this is excellent here because we're going to go from full grip to no grip, and I'll just do an emergency stop to show how well the computer reads that we've got lots of grip, no grip, without me changing my input on the controls.
Did that surprise you, Paul? It did actually. Yeah. Yeah. To be completely frank, I was very surprised. I actually didn't expect it to be have as much torque, as much power as it, you know, for a 660. Geez, you can fling it around. You can, you know, I love that. You pull on that throttle and the growl. Oh, I'd lose my licence on one of them, I reckon.
So as Cam climbs aboard the Tuareg, he's about to show us how well the ABS works transitioning from tar to gravel. And if you missed that, here it is again in slow motion. Notice the rear wheel momentarily locking up and releasing.
Taking it pretty easy, I could probably do double that speed, but just to show you, like, you see how effective it is and how in control it is?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So that's me not doing anything. My level of experience had nothing to do with that. It was just pretty much maximum brake pressure, or, you know, 90% brake pressure. Hard brake, front and rear. Total control on the bitumen, and then onto that is really, you know, loose surface on a hard pack. It doesn't get much slippery, it's skatier. So for it to remain that composed, the bike was stable and I still had the ability to steer it. So the systems work. Aprilia traction control. We're in explore mode. The base setting in that is 3. So I'm going to ride up here, once again, very slippery surface, and I'm going to give some really bad throttle input. I'll show you what it's like.
So that's 100% throttle. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. And see, you can hear it kind of, the engine dip down a bit. Yeah. With these new bikes, they have what's called the IMU, inertial measurement unit. So it's measuring all the time.
Oh.
And that's on number 3.
And that's like really leaning the bike over. Like pretty brutal. So.
And you wouldn't normally ride like that.
No. Now I'll go to 1. Yeah.
Setting the traction control to number 1 is the least most intrusive setting, and you can really see the difference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the switch traction control to number 1.
Number 1. Yeah. And obviously 2 would be in between.
I'll leave that to my real deadline. Not real, but
Wow.
Pretty awkward little spot to give a demo there. It's not really appealing.
it shows exactly.
You see it slid, but then it mitigates how far it goes. So, and I was pretty low in the revs then. You know, a bit higher would show it a bit more. Give it a bit more of a blast, but it's mitigating the amount it slides, so it lets it go quite a bit, but it brings it back in the end. All one really does is stop big spikes. Yeah. So it's almost like very little traction control, but if you hit a slippery patch, it's going to stop those big spikes. I always remind people, can you still high side and crash it? Absolutely you can.
Yeah.
But you'll find your sweet spot, what works for you. Some people want the comfort of a lot of intervention. Others just want to let it slide, and you can do that, you can turn it off. But, you know, I want you guys to try it when we head up there. Space out, you know, a bit higher in the RPM, you'll feel in 3, it'll be cut. Bring it back to 2, you'll feel it'll let it go a little bit before it cuts. 1, it'll let it go a lot more before it cuts. And it's good too, I think 4 is more than enough. Some of these systems have, you know, like 12.
The Kato, I think, has 9.
Yeah.
Which is, you'll spend all day choosing.
Trying to figure out where you're supposed to
I like this because you make a change and you feel the difference. So, you know, at the end of the day, guys, I always say these electronic aids enable you to get the best out of the bike, and they're systems that work and to benefit and to make it safer, but they don't make up for poor riding inputs. We still want to be as smooth as possible with our input. You know, before that was a demonstration to show you. And a lot of people, when they first jump on a bike with this, they want to feel it, so vroom, vroom, grab the brake, but that's not really how we want to ride. We want to be smooth, that's best, but we've got those systems to help us. So any questions with any of that?
How easy it is to wheel this bike?
to wheel in.
Yeah.
If you're an Isle of Man TT,
Zero traction control. I think Cam might have an answer to that question.
Camera's off.
Yeah, okay, camera's off.
I put it 80% off in off-road mode. I'll come up the hill and see. I haven't done it.
As Cam takes off and pops it on the back wheel, he certainly didn't take much convincing.
He's practicing. It's very interesting.
Didn't take much.
Yeah, no, not really.
how's everyone finding the engine?
Love it.
Very torquey.
Really good.
Love it. Yeah.
Even coming down the hill,
Yeah.
and then when you start to go through twisties,
Like you said, low revs.
yeah. When we go back up,
He's already
try
got
and
on the
rev
back.
it a bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
There we go.
He's already got it on the back wheel. Oh, he did. Go on, Cam.
Yeah, okay, you can get
And a stoppie for free. There you go.
Flick it, so. And off-road too, it's another thing, you know, when you want to go over a washout or a log or something and you want to take the weight off the front, this bike does get amazing mechanical grip. And I'm not just saying this with my Aprilia hat on, I went and tested this bike at the launch for bikesales.com.au and I really tell it how it is, and we couldn't believe that. So many adventure bikes, you pop the clutch, you just spin the tyre, really transfers its weight. It really works in technical off-road amazingly well for the bulk of the bike.
There's also, after the test ride in Sydney last weekend, he just wanted to keep riding, so they just took off and just found a few trails. And there's 2 videos on his Facebook and Instagram, and some of the stuff that he was doing on the bike, like you wouldn't do on another adventure bike.
No, it was incredible. Like we actually, you know, you find the track on Google Maps, you start going down, you get to the point you're like, I hope we don't have to come out this way. It was pretty, the full enduro gnarly, and I mean I ride off-road all the time, I love it, but what we went through was incredible. Like, what it was capable of, you know, dry creek red.
And here's a quick look at those clips now. Now that's impressive.
Yeah, I'm sure you're already getting the feel of how light they are. But so now we're off-road, so I advise guys really space out so we're not eating dust. We're going to regroup at the top of this. We'll just go on the right-hand side there just to keep out of people's way. It's a bit of an awkward little corner up there for those of you who don't know it, but space out. You're in explore mode. You know, if you want to change modes, do so, but I'd advise leaving explore and just playing with that traction and feeling how it makes
Start at
a
number
difference.
3, and as you know, if you're more confident, work your way back down to 1. But certainly try 3 and 2, and yeah.
Just get a feel for it.
What's the insurance premium for the bike?
2.5.
Today? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere. We keep it safe.
Everyone go and you go last.
Yeah.
We gotta ride behind. Where's my GoPro?
Crash bars.
Yeah.
With all that said and done, it's time now for us to hit the dirt.
Lightweight.
And the first step is to set the bikes to off-road mode. And wouldn't you know it, for some reason my GoPro just wouldn't work properly. So this time around, for this unsealed section of road known as the Go Track, we'll be riding on board with Paul. Take it away, buddy. Even though the Goat Track is a nicely graded road, don't be fooled. It's quite loose and skatey, and there's quite a drop off to the left hand side. You've got to keep your wits about you. And you've already heard what the insurance premium is. However, my GoPro did decide to take some interesting pictures. This one shows one rider in particular who will name Crash, heading off into a spoon drain. The Aprilia Tuareg 660 seems to eat up these roads for breakfast, and Paul has his traction control set at 2. Off-road on the pegs, the bike feels light and nimble and easy to control. The modern day electronics, along with its long travel suspension, do a great job of keeping this bike upright. But maybe some of that credit should also go to the rider, hey? Here you can see how steep the drop-offs are on the left, and they're without any guardrails. Even on skaty roads like these, the Tuareg inspires confidence. With its torquey parallel twin engine, its sure-footedness allows you to tack these roads with ease. Just point and shoot, and the bike fires into corners. It's a very compliant and forgiving bike. Nice job, Paul.
It's super light. It's so nimble to throw around. That traction control, man, it makes a difference, doesn't it?
Works so well.
Talky little motor.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
so light.
yeah.
You know, so many adventure bikes now, they've got benefits, but they're so big.
Yeah.
This is just so nimble, you know, like everyone's adventure's different, but if you like technical stuff or something easy to manage.
I think the ATC2 for me was my sort of kind of sweet
you find
spot.
your sweet spot.
Yeah.
And the roads, that'll change depending on the terrain too. Yeah. All right, we'll get everyone out. A bit awkward here. We'll get it back on the road.
We're still missing a rider.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Someone's might have fallen over, or they're just taking their time.
Only one more, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. There was the younger bloke who requested the wheelie.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I passed him, so
Did you?
the sweep was behind him, and I saw him go towards the.
And the ambulance was behind him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, spooner.
It's pretty sketchy, that road coming up there.
It is a bit, yeah.
You don't always use the same thing off-road. You notice like the corrugations really set the traction off. Like you don't always use the same setting off-road. Some you know, some conditions you'll use a different setting.
I think there's still one more to come. The guy that requested the wheelie.
Yeah, he seemed pretty excitable. Do you think he's fallen over? We'll find out.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have asked that question.
So, for those of you that have ridden other adventure bikes, how nimble is it?
Very nimble.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot
Feels
lighter.
like half of my bike.
Yeah.
It's just so light.
And then it just, as I said, depends on what sort of adventure you want. If you want to go a lot of fire roads and a lot of off-road and technical,
Yeah.
very hard to go past this.
What sort of range do you reckon they've got?
We found testing pretty incredible. 18 litre tank,
Yep.
easily over 300.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
They're claiming 4.5 to 100 of road cruising. That's 450 out of a tank.
Wow.
On
Out of
the
18
launch,
litre tank.
We were in deep sand and we still got, you know, a couple of 100 k's before we refueled. We didn't need to, but I mean that was deep sand and absolutely on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're they've already proved on the road platform that they're a very economical engine.
Yeah.
Oh gee, there isn't.
Is that good that the ambulance arrived before the sweep?
Oh, he's signalling you down.
Dear, oh dear. That guy, he also asked about the insurance. Yeah, he was in front of me, and then he went off to the spoon drain, and but he wasn't in it. And then I
Wasn't there a
passed him
sweep
because
rider,
he
mate?
was just about to stop.
Oh, is he not back yet? So he must have come off.
Yeah. We're still missing one rider and the sweep, and things aren't looking good.
One in every group.
What do you do?
He's ridden off the edge, not hurt, not crashed, but he got the bike stuck. But I'll see, if it was two-way, I'd say we'll go down and with a group of us, we'd
Yeah.
carry it up on our shoulders. But
Let's go all the way around and get him again.
Well, we might. So let me just call Jared. If he's stuck, we will definitely.
Yeah.
Just hold fire.
But Jared isn't answering his phone. He must be preoccupied with the fallen rider.
Yeah, I might just go with a couple. Everyone's keen to do more of a ride, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, let's just do the lap. I'll put. Do you mind being calm, man?
Yeah, no worries. Yep.
And we'll keep it rolling and we'll just do the loop.
Okay. Too easy.
If we'll go up here, we'll turn right.
And so, with Cam assigning me the job as the new tailman, taking Jared's place, the new plan is to basically do a loop, head back up the goat track, and see if we can rescue that down rider. Going the wrong way down a one-way road just isn't an option. Here we go. And as I watch each rider peel off one by one and do a shoulder check, plans suddenly change again. Our two missing riders have appeared. You good? And unbeknown to everyone else, they seem okay. There goes our down rider, and both he and the bike seem fine. And with a signal from Jared, we're off again. Our missing rider has taken off like a scolded cat.
Alright, that's a bit of excitement. So the rider that fell, he's in front of me now. He was behind me just after I hit the dirt there. My GoPro switched off. And he went off the road. They managed to get the bike back up.
And it suddenly occurs to me that Cam and the other riders have got no idea that these riders are behind us, and they're about to do another lap.
So Cam doesn't know, he thinks that we've got to do another lap.
So off I go in hot pursuit to chase the pack down, get to the front, and catch up to Cam and let him know what the situation is. But the faster I go, the faster the rider in front of me, who we'll name Crash, keeps going. I'm going to have to take him by surprise.
There we are, riding behind Cam Donald, 2 times TT champion, Isle of Man. And I'll tell you what, just watching the lines he takes, yeah, what a privilege.
Meanwhile, down the back of the pack,
one of the guys come off on our ride, so we're just going back to pick him up, collect the bike. So do a quick circuit.
Paul also naturally doesn't know the other riders are back, and is surprised to see me mug him.
Cheeky cunt jumps in front of me.
Mission accomplished.
Cam! He made it back. They're both here. So yeah, I just... Plus it's this young fellow with a red and black helmet. So yeah, we're good.
I was actually going to say, let's stop and I'll call him one more time.
Yeah.
You might end up doing a loop, though, but I'm disappointed I wasn't another ride. But
Yeah.
I'll wait to go.
Alright, all good. Crisis averted. There he jumps.
And with a quick signal from Jared, we're away again. I've got to say, I'm really enjoying riding this bike. It's really exceeded all my expectations on and off-road. It's an absolute hoot to ride, and if I wasn't wearing a full-faced helmet, I'd be catching bugs in my teeth. It's that good.
Woo-hoo! There we are, Man Grant, riding right behind Cam Donald, absolutely banging it. These Aprilia Tuaregs. Oh my god, These things you can just chuck around, so short-footed. They came to build 120 behind Cam Donald. Oh my fucking God. What a privilege. Woo-hoo. Okay, down a few gears. What's the lines he takes? Oh.
As we make our way back to the Mount Glorious Cafe, it's time to slow the pace down and take a bit of a breather. Even at slow speeds, these bikes are fun to ride. I reckon I could ride it all day.
Oh, back to reality. Woohoo! I'm glad we got this, the footage of this. I suppose, twice now we've been able to ride with Cam. So, we'll get another photo with him in front of the Prius. But I'll tell you what, I like this bike. I really do.
And as we roll into the popular Mount Glorious Cafe, it's time for our Aprilia Tuareg demo ride to come to an end. That was a bit of excitement. That suits you, Red.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Damn it.
What'd you think?
So what happened?
Did he go off? Oh fuck, I'm taking that kick. Yeah. Went,
Managed to get the bike up, did you?
they must have pulled it up, yeah. Yes, I don't know. You'll never know who you see on these rides, and it's nice to see a familiar face.
Very good. We were on the GS experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah.
Great.
Last one up at yeah. And I've been watching your videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it's good to hang up.
Mark. What do you think of this?
Great, yeah. It's very, very light and nimble and a lot of fun actually. More talking.
So as we wrap this demo ride up, it's just a quick word from Cam and the organisers before we go.
This is a bit I normally say thanks everyone for keeping it upright. You know when we said the bike has off-road capability?
He kept it upright.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
You sure we're waiting in the ambulance comes around the corner? It's alright, he's just ridden off the edge. We're like, oh.
The right edge.
Oh, it was in the speed drain.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, thanks for coming. Hopefully that gave you an idea of what the bike, a very small sample of what the bike's capable of. Or we've got people here to answer questions for you.
So price point, so 22,300 or 22,500 for the red one.
An extra for
It's
the...
literally just colour. So there's no mechanical difference.
Right away, or is it?
Right away. Yep, that's right.
That's good.
And the best thing is at the moment, they've got stock in every colour.
Plenty of stock, so no waiting around like other brands. 2.5.
And I know there's been talk, people, a lot of people, I'll give it a year to wait to see reliability and whatnot, but the RS660, as I said, that is currently the #1 selling sports bike in Europe. Yeah, this motor compared to the 660 is run, it's a different state of tune. It's lower revving, different cylinder head, camshaft and gearbox ratio. So, longevity wise, so far it's proved to be very reliable. So.
I think to dip in on the reliability thing, the most unreliable thing has been the guy who bought it.
And the only thing you can't buy is this stylish Tuareg compact.
Priceless.
Which we got. I don't think any manufacturer's done these as promo. Yeah.
I don't know if they ever will again.
But I got
make
to
it look
admit
so
that,
good, Kev.
There's a lot to extract from the bike.
Yeah.
I didn't get to, fully extract it, but it was fun.
Oh, I wouldn't have after you come on.
So with those departing words from our mate Crash, it's time for us to finish up this experience.
Thanks so much, that was brilliant. Awesome. Thanks again, Cam, for that. So, perfect. Loved it.
And of course, Paul and I got our obligatory photo with the TT champ. The Aprilia Tuareg has just been named Bike Sales Bike of the Year winner for 2022. And here's what the judges had to say.
The Tuareg 660 is amazing, really. It does what it looks like it should do on the dirt. It looks like a dirt bike and it feels like a dirt bike. But to be able to ride on the road and have fun, even with knobby tyres, is quite an amazing thing.
And one of these judges you might even recognise.
Quite a conventional off-road setup when you look at it, and it works so well off-road. The simplicity of this bike is one of its most appealing features. For more hardcore adventure riders that want to go out back and beyond, sometimes the less features the better, the less to go wrong.
And can you guess who this rider might be jumping the Tuareg with no hands? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. We might see you on the next one.